It was a calm morning at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob was cheerfully flipping patties, singing his favorite cooking song. Business was slow, and Mr. Krabs had gone out to check the treasure map sales. Feeling bored, SpongeBob decided to experiment. He found a mysterious glowing kelp and an old sauce bottle labeled "Do Not USE." Of course, he used both. "Time to make something legendary," he said with a grin. The moment the new patty touched the grill, it sizzled with a strange purple steam. The smell was irresistible, almost hypnotic. When he finished assembling it, the bun sparkled and the patty pulsed faintly with light. "I shall call you Krabby Deluxe too." "Oh," SpongeBob declared proudly. Just then, Mrs. Puff walked in, tired from a long day. She took one bite and her face froze in shock. Then slowly, she smiled like never before. This is the best thing I've ever tasted," Mrs. Puff cried. She ordered 5 more, then ran out giggling like a schoolgirl. Within an hour, a line formed outside the Krusty Krab. Word spread across town that SpongeBob had created the most delicious patty in history. Even Squilliam showed up and paid in gold. The town buzzed with obsession. Mr. Krabs returned, saw the cash flowing in, and immediately shouted, "Make more." But something was off. SpongeBob noticed that after eating the burger, customers began acting weird. Larry the lobster was hugging a trash can, muttering "Deluxe, precious deluxe." Old Man Walker kept coming back, ordering patties he couldn't pay for, just to smell them. Even Pearl showed up and called it the only thing that matters now. SpongeBob grew uneasy. Was the burger doing something to their minds? That night, SpongeBob stayed behind to clean, but found a note left by Squidward. "I don't know what's in that burger, but it's freaking me out. I saw Plankton eating one and smiling." SpongeBob's eyes widened. Plankton never smiled. He rushed to the grill and Ray read the label on the sauce bottle. "Warning, contains influence extract. Do not serve to public." His heart sank. What had he done? The next morning, Bikini Bottom was different. Everyone walked in sync toward the Krusty Krab. Their eyes were wide, glowing faintly purple. They didn't speak much, just ordered the Krabby Deluxe to .0 and stared blankly while chewing. Even Sandy came in, but something about her expression felt robotic. SpongeBob panicked. This wasn't just a tasty burger. This was mind control. SpongeBob tried to stop serving it, but Mr. Krabs wouldn't allow it. "The profits, lad. Look at the profits," he shouted, eyes swirling with greed. "You'll keep flipping those beauties, or you're fired." SpongeBob reluctantly returned to the grill, but his hands trembled. Meanwhile, Squidward had locked himself in the freezer, terrified. "I told you food was dangerous," he whispered, hugging a clarinet. Desperate for help, SpongeBob ran to Sandy's treat room that night, but she wasn't home. Her helmet lay cracked on the ground, and her walls were covered with drawings of the burger. At the center, one sentence repeated over and over, "The burger knows." SpongeBob backed away slowly, heart racing. He knew this had gone too far. He had to fix it, no matter the cost. He returned to the Krusty Krab only to find the restaurant open at 8 a.m. inside. The customers were sitting motionless, still eating. Mr. Krabs stood at the register, but his eyes had turned fully purple, counting money he couldn't even see. "Money, burger, money," he mumbled. Suddenly, the burgers began to glow brighter, and a strange hum filled the air. The patties were alive. SpongeBob screamed and ran out, determined to destroy every ingredient he used. He gathered the purple kelp, the cursed sauce, and tossed them into a barrel of chum behind the Krusty Krab. But as he turned around, a massive figure emerged from the shadows. It was Plankton, eyes glowing, smiling wider than ever. "Delicious work, SpongeBob. You made it better than I ever could." Plankton revealed the truth. The glowing sauce was part of his secret project Operation Mind Patty, a formula designed to enslave Bikini Bottom through irresistible flavor. But he could never cook it right, until SpongeBob, with his perfect cooking skills, unknowingly activated the formula's full power. And now, Plankton whispered, everyone obeys the burger, and soon, they'll obey me. Before SpongeBob could react, jellyfish covered in glowing purple goo swarmed him from behind. He fought them off with his spatula, but they stung his arms, trying to force-feed him a Krabby Deluxe. He barely escaped and ran to Squidward's house, where he found him wearing 7 layers of tinfoil and crying. I saw Gary eating one. Gary, your snail is possessed. Realizing the only person not affected yet was himself, SpongeBob knew time was running out. He crafted a makeshift helmet out of spatulas and coral pots to block the burger's influence. Then he turned to the only person smart enough to counter this madness, Karen, Plankton's computer wife. He snuck into the chum bucket through the back and begged her for help. Karen was still functioning normally barely. I told Plankton it would backfire, she said. The mind patty doesn't make people obey him. It makes them obey it. She showed him simulations of the future. The burger would eventually grow, gain consciousness, and become a greasy overlord named Chef Omega Patty. You have 3 hours before full sentience, she warned. SpongeBob asked if there was an antidote. Karen uploaded a file called D-Patty Protocol onto a flash drive and told him to plug it into the Krusty Krab speaker system. It would emit a frequency that breaks the burger's influence, but only if played at full volume. Side effects may include melted furniture, she added. SpongeBob didn't care. He had a mission. With Squidward reluctantly in tow, they snuck back into the Krusty Krab. It was now a glowing fortress, pulsating with purple light. Burger drones floated in the air. The townspeople chanted, Patty good, Patty forever. SpongeBob crawled under the tables, dodging jellyfish patrols, and reached the speaker system behind the counter. He inserted the flash drive. As the file began to play, a deep rumbling shook the walls. The frequency vibrated the patties off plates and cracked the floor. Customers grabbed their heads, screaming as the purple glow faded from their eyes. The jellyfish froze in midair, then dropped. Plankton shouted from the roof, "Noo!" as his dream collapsed in a wave of static noise. But the Krabby Deluxe wasn't finished. The grill burst open, and from the grease emerged a massive, glowing meat entity, Chef Omega Patty, its eyes burning with rage. Taste! It roared. SpongeBob gasped. It's alive? How is that even sanitary? The burger monster lunged at him, leaving purple footprints of sizzling heat. SpongeBob grabbed the spatulas and stood his ground. Not in my kitchen, he yelled, leaping into a flurry of combat. Grease splashed everywhere. Squidward threw ketchup packets like grenades. Mr. Krabs, finally free from the mind control, grabbed a mop and joined the fight. For the money, he screamed, swinging wildly. After a long, greasy battle, SpongeBob managed to flip the monster patty into the deep fryer. The fryer hissed and sizzled violently as Chef Omega Patty shrieked, melting into a puddle of defeated deliciousness. The glow disappeared. Bikini Bottom was finally free. The curse was broken. The next day, the Krusty Krab was closed for deep cleaning. Mr. Krabs counted his losses. Back to normal Krabby Patties. He sighed. Sandy returned from hiding with a flamethrower, just in case. Squidward took the rest of the week off for mental recovery, and SpongeBob, he looked at the broken sauce bottle and muttered, never again. Karen sent a final message, do not cook with alien condiments. Ever. SpongeBob sent back a heart emoji. He returned to flipping his usual patties, but this time with more care and no mysterious glowy ingredients. But Bikini Bottom had changed. People still twitched occasionally. Some whispered to their napkins. Others dreamed of burgers. One evening, SpongeBob noticed a single jellyfish glowing purple near Jellyfish Fields. It buzzed slowly, then vanished. He blinked. Was that real? He rubbed his eyes and laughed nervously. Ha ha, just a leftover memory, right? But the camera zoomed into the sky where the shape of a giant, sizzling burger hovered faintly in the clouds. The screen cut to static. Then a message appeared: taste returns. SpongeBob's voice echoed faintly. I should have just made salad. Cut to black. Dramatic music, and credits roll over a slow-motion shot of a spatula falling in the deep fryer. And so, the legend of the Mind Patty faded. For now, Bikini Bottom went back to its usual nonsense, at least until the next culinary catastrophe. But deep in the ocean trench, something still glowed purple, and it was hungry.